job. We need to go show somebody else. time, I'd just like to have everyone take your seats. And something a little bit different about tonight is that we are actually going out live at 7:30 to a virtual audience as well. So a little bit different than in the past. So if we could keep some of that ancillary noise to a minimum and things so that those at home can hear us well, that would be great. So the program will be starting in the next 20 to 30 minutes, but enjoy your meals and have a great time tonight.
Good evening. We realize that some people haven't received their dinner yet. We are ready to start live streaming with our virtual audience. So please continue enjoying your meal, but also know that we are starting to live stream with our virtual audience. And so if we can just work on keeping the noise level down a little bit while we're eating, that would be great. Well, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us for this event that is truly unique. This is the first year that we've ever had a hybrid event where we have a room full of folks, and we also have many participants and guests joining us virtually. My name is Jillian Balo, and I just welcome everyone. If you're joining us via live stream, thank you and welcome. And can I just get a thumbs up from tech to know that we are live stream already? Okay, great. If you're joining us via live stream, thank you and welcome. Over the past year and a half, we have all become more savvy with how we make meaningful human connections with each other. And for many of us, that including me, included a technology learning curve. So those joining virtually, I want to share with you a little bit about the energy in this room tonight. First of all, at the Wyoming and Colorado Children's Society office, staff, board members, and volunteers have been working for weeks to collect and arrange auction items and plan for tonight's event. The room looks amazing. The room feels amazing. And silent auction items cover every wall space throughout the entire room. Those of us who are in the room tonight have anxiously awaited this event. We are dressed to the nines, and we had cash in our hands and in our pockets before we bought raffle tickets. Everyone has spotted new friends and friends that we've known for a long time, colleagues, business partners, community members, and others. And again, the energy is incredibly high in here. The silent auction items tonight are the same items that those who are joining us virtually are bidding on. So all of the bidding is done virtually, whether you're in the room or joining us virtually. And I know I put in a few early bids before tonight's event, and I am still bidding on those in person tonight. So keep bidding. However, if you would stay away from the Chardonnay basket and the Tiffany sunglasses, that'd be great. We enjoyed a wonderful meal together tonight. Many of us are still enjoying that meal as we visit, and we are joined with laughter from families and friends from near and far. And we have a tech team this year. Tonight's team is helping us stream in real time, so virtual and in-person attendees can enjoy the evening and bid together and participate in a very special event that's coming up. The energy is high and it's contagious, and I know everyone, virtually and in person, can feel it. So no matter if you're joining us for the first time, the 10th time, or the 30th time, whether you are in person or joining us online, you are a part of the Wyoming and Colorado Children's Society community, and we want to share our stories and our families with you. My family was built through adoption. We were a family of 4 until 2020, and now we've grown. We added a granddaughter, and her name is Camille, and a significant other to our family in 2020. And tonight, our family, too, is taking advantage of the virtual event with my husband, John, and my daughter, Peyton, joining us virtually. And in person tonight is my +1, my son, Jack, who's 15. This afternoon, I asked Jack if he could just tell me something that he thought was special about being adopted. And he looked at me, he's 15, like I said, and I was hoping to get a nugget of wisdom from kids. You know, sometimes they do that. And he just looked at me and he said, it's normal, I guess. So Jack, thank you for saying that our family is normal, first of all. I like that. And I'll take that because that is the beauty of working with the Wyoming and Colorado Children's Society. Through your support at events like tonight, the Wyoming and Colorado Children's Society can support one another and those in our communities emotionally, logistically, and financially. The Wyoming and Colorado Children's Society helps birth parents to make loving choices and helps adoptive families grow into, well, like I said, normal families. So whatever that means, and again, Jack, thank you for saying that our family is normal, and I probably owe you, I don't know, an ice cream cone or something. So all of us who adopt cannot imagine growing our families any other way. We are grateful, we're humbled, and we are a community. And you are a part of our community today and every day. Tonight, we get to honor one of my dear friends. When we moved to Cheyenne 13 years ago, Sarah Pedersen was one of the first people that I met at a Wyoming Children's Society picnic. Our boys and families have grown strong, or have forged strong bonds over the years with family trips, family dinners, volunteer work, and of course, our adoption journeys. And I know I'm not the only one who can say that I have followed Sarah's lead. She is gracious, graceful, and such a leader at the Wyoming Children's Society. She supports the organization with her passion, her heart, and her dedication. And it is a privilege to call you, Sarah, my friend, and it is a privilege to recognize you tonight. But before we do that, we have a few others to recognize, and I'd like to bring the Wyoming and Colorado Children's Society Executive Director, Carol Lindley, to the stage. Carol, as you make your way to the stage, I want to say thank you for your leadership and your passion. You are a friend to many of us. You are confident, a professional, and an advocate for our families and for our birth mothers. Welcome to the stage, Carol.
Thank you. Good evening. Hello to those who are joining us at home. I thought last year was a learning curve for us when we pivoted and did a totally virtual event, but this year we're doing a hybrid, which is 2 events basically. So it's exciting that we have people at home and here at Little America who want to celebrate and uplift the accomplishments of this agency. We are celebrating 110 years tonight, and that is really significant. And we can't do that work without each and every one of you in this room. I would like to just start off with thanking our sponsors tonight. When you look out at this room, you will see businesses in our community, in our state, families who have decided that this is an important nonprofit to support, and we are so thankful that there are so many people who join us in doing the work that we do. I want to especially thank our platinum sponsors tonight. As you will see these signs up here, we are joined by the True Family Double 4 Foundation and Tim and Lindsay Wozniak as our platinum sponsors, and we are thankful for their joining us in the work that we do. Christy LeClaire and Quentin are here with us tonight, and we're blessed because Christy also works with us and provides services in the northern part of the state and Casper. So we're just very thankful. Thank you also to our gold, silver, and bronze level sponsorships. We are pleased that you are here with us tonight. It's great to get back together again. I know there are risks involved in that, but it is wonderful to be together and to have that sense of family again. I just wanted to say thank you to Todd Dreamer Band for the wonderful music. If you would all join me in applause. Todd and Wendy have been longtime friends of Wyoming Children's Society. She found us the building that we have been in for the last 17 years, and Todd provides so much of our maintenance and help in that building to this day. So they are special people for sure. Steve Price, thank you for being here tonight to entertain us with your auction skills, and thanks Robin for also accompanying him. We appreciate it. You are always willing to give up a night to spend with us, and we know how busy you are. I would also like to, when Superintendent Jillian Balow introduced herself tonight, she introduced herself as a mother, which she is first and foremost, but she is also the State Superintendent of Public Instruction. And she's quite an amazing woman, and I'm happy that I got to know her many years ago when Jack came home to their family. She's a special person, and we're thankful that you're here. I also wanted to recognize we have with us tonight State Supreme Court Justice Lynn Boomgarden. I'm trying to find you in the room, but if you would stand, thank you. Lynn and Rick are wonderful friends of Wyoming Children's Society. Rick has served on our board of directors for many years. He brought a lot of humor and questions to the board meetings, and I always appreciated that. We also have with us tonight State Senator Tara Nethercott. If you would stand and let us acknowledge. And we also have Wyoming representatives Barry Crago and Landon Brown. And City Councilman Dr. Michelle Aldridge is also with us tonight, and we thank you for joining us. So as Jillian said earlier, there are a lot of people that make this night come to a reality, and many of those are board members and staff, but we also have some true volunteers. There are many seats on this committee, and I was talking with Chris Bates earlier saying we would love to have people join us as we start planning for next year in March, and we'll look forward to including some new people in that. But we do have 3 volunteers who are truly volunteers. Ella Kubix is our currently longest standing volunteer. You can stand, Ella. Thank you. Jessica Vendaya is actually joining us virtually, but Heather Morgan is with us tonight also. Heather works at A&B, but she also is an adoptive mom herself. So I wanted to introduce to you the board of directors, but I would like for you to hold your applause until we're done, because I'm going to introduce everyone, whether they're joining us virtually or in person. So Sarah Pedersen is our current president of the board, and if you want to stand, and her best fan club, Brian. Kristen Burkhardt is the vice president. Janelle Osborne is our secretary. Dave Berry is the treasurer. Tricia Bach is a board member. Kelly Clark. Kristen Crago. That table back there is trouble, I'll tell you. Ibby Davis. Stand up there, Ibby. Kristen Mackey. Dave McNulty and Jane Hutchings-Oland are remote. Megan Romano, Stephanie Tubner, Tyler Tonso, and Lindsay Wozniak. So thank you all for the work that you do throughout the year. Lastly, I would introduce the staff, the social work professional staff at Wyoming Children's Society. And as Jillian indicated earlier, these are, they're all women, that's good. They're women who work hard, they're very dedicated to their profession, and they are dedicated to working with adoptive families, with birth mothers and birth parents and also children. And I couldn't ask for a better staff, a group of people that I truly love to come to work every day to be with. Christy Roberts is our adoption program coordinator. Elizabeth Lindley is our placement supervisor in Colorado, but she's also an event planner extraordinaire. Susanna Bird is a social worker here in our Cheyenne office. Christy LeClaire in Casper. And then Shauna Culp is from Fort Collins, but joined us during the summer to help us with some event planning. And so we are thankful that she was able to do that. Thank you, Shauna. I am also excited to be here tonight to celebrate and honor an incredible woman. Sarah she's a Wyoming native and a graduate of the University of Wyoming. I first met Sarah in 2008 when she and Brian decided that they wanted to grow their family through adoption. It was at that time that I got to know Sarah a little bit more personally, because the home study process is fairly personal and intensive. So you ask questions, you read a lot about people, and that's how I got to know both of them. For those of you who are good friends of Sarah, and there are many of you in this room, you know that she is kind, that she is genuine, and she is giving. She is also strongly committed to giving back to her community. She is an advocate for all children. She's an educator for Laramie County School District #1 and has taught at several different elementary schools in Cheyenne. Most recently, she has been a third grade teacher at Davis Elementary, and this fall, she will start as the social emotional learning teacher for grades K through 6, also at Davis. Yay, Mary Beth. She is committed to seeing that children succeed academically and socially in a welcoming, safe environment. I've also known Sarah as an adoptive mom. She's equally devoted to her family and helping her own children succeed however they may. During the adoption process, Sarah shared with us that a value she learned from her own parents was that family comes first. She spoke about the loving family in which she was raised, and she grew up, and she wanted to make sure that other children had an opportunity to have those same experiences. There is no question when you observe Sarah and Brian with their children that their children mean the world to them. Since that initial meeting, Sarah and Brian have traveled to China twice, first to bring home Ia and then to bring home Brant. The process of international adoption is not an easy one. There are many challenges. It's a little bit overwhelming at times, but never, ever did Sarah and Brian give up. They only became more committed to the process and more certain about their decision. It was at that time it became apparent to me that we at Wyoming and Colorado Children's Society needed someone like Sarah Pedersen to serve on our board of directors. Someone that had a good understanding of adoption, but also a belief that all children deserve to live in safe, loving, permanent homes. She was elected to the board of directors in 2008, and she has served as the president for the past 6 years. She leads in a positive, intentional, and thoughtful manner. I am proud to have worked with her for many years to further the mission of this agency. To introduce you to the Pedersens, The following video that we are going to show is just a short glimpse of who they are. You will meet Sarah and her husband Brian, but you will also hear from each one of her children. Brock, who I believe will turn 16 maybe in a few days. Dane, who is also to turn maybe 14 shortly. Ia, age 12, and Brant, who is 6. They have much to teach each of us about family, love, diversity, and acceptance. Please join me in hearing from the Pedersons.
And I'm on the board of the Wyoming Children's Society, so I was surrounded by amazing stories of families adopting and adopting again and adopting again, and they're beautiful stories of kids who have nothing, and then they get a family, a forever family.
Sarah and I had a conversation. We were dating, and we were just talking about family. We weren't married, we weren't engaged. We were just throwing stuff out, like, what would you like to do someday with your life? We both wanted to have a family. We talked about maybe have a bigger family, maybe more than the traditional 2, kids. And we finally talked about adoption. That would just be something that we'd both be interested in. And it wasn't like a goal or something like this, so like we're going to make sure this happens, but it was something that we both were interested in helping maybe someone have a better life than maybe what they would have. There's 11 million kids in orphanages globally. And then you have foster program in the U.S. and all these different pieces, but the opportunity to make a difference for one, kind of resonated with both of us.
We got Ia when she was 22 months, and Dane is about a year and a half older than Ia, so they're all pretty close. And then we have a really big gap between Ia and our youngest.
Which is why we'll adopt again, and then we'll
We'll fix that problem.
It's the first time I was with my grandma inside of a hotel room, and then when Ia came through the door, she just lit up.
I remember I had a dream before my parents went to get Ia, and Brock and me and my grandma were at the hotel, and I fell asleep, and I had a dream about I was there with Ia, and I got to meet Ia, and it was really, really made me happy. And then she came home, and I remember she accidentally hit the mirror because she didn't know, she thought it was another room and another one of her. So she was about like almost 2, so I don't think she's ever seen a mirror.
I thought it was cool that my mom got to be a teacher, and and I'm really smart, so I like to, I like to be with kids.
One thing with Ia, it took a year to get the paperwork done, but with Brant, I guess it was the second time, so I got it done quicker, about in 6 months, and then we had Brant 6 months later. And now China only adopts special needs. I guess 1% is healthy children, but the rest is special needs. So, and they have a lot of little boys in China, more so than girls. And we originally with Brant said, with our second adoption, thought we would we'd adopt a little girl. Ia really wanted a sister. But the more I thought about it, I thought, I'm just gonna mark either and see what happens. And it ended up being a little boy.
He was serious face, like all the time. We'd try and cheer him up. Like my mom would play a little game with him, and he'd look forward, and he'd go just awkwardly. And then because he's never met us before, he's never seen our faces in a photograph, so he must have felt really, really scared. He must have thought he was being stolen, but we were actually taking him to our care.
So just like with my birth babies, I set up a room with my boys, a crib and a nursery. And then for Ia, she was 22 months old, and we did the same thing. I just, it's always kind of a risk because you don't know for sure, something can change, but It's a risk as well with biological children. You never know what could happen. You know, it was part of a process of getting ready for them to come. When you adopt, they give you all this information about the child, but you don't really know exactly, you know, what's coming home. Sometimes you think of the worst, a child with some severe attachment issues. You just don't know.
He doesn't have that need to connect with me, so he had to build that trust slowly. And that rejection of having to build trust, I love him the same way I love when Brock was born and when Dane was born. It's the exact same feeling, but to not have it reciprocated. And although intellectually, you know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We went through it with Ia, so I know that the bond will come there, but you can't decouple it from the emotional part of your brain.
I think it was cool that I got to be in the room to see him, because when my brothers went to adopt me, they didn't get to. They had to stay in the hotel room.
You got to be there?
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
It felt really good.
What was it like when you first saw him walk into the room?
I was sweating of happiness, and I was like wondering what he's going to be like and what he's going to do.
And he's bonded with everyone, and he understands that this is the safe place, and this is where safety is, and this is where family is, and it's loving in here. But that took you know, it took about 4 months, and we're still not fully there.
Hello. I am so excited to be here today, seeing all your happy faces in person. COVID and the past year and a half has given me many opportunities to slow down and reflect and really think about what's important to me. Of course, things like toilet paper and the internet and Amazon are pretty important, but really, what are the most important things I can't live without? I can't live without my family and my friends and the relationships that shape my everyday life. Feeling loved, feeling appreciated, feeling valued is what family means to me. Family and our experiences are what shape who we become. Family are the people in your life who want you in theirs, the ones who accept you for who you are, the ones who would do anything to see you smile, and who love you no matter what. Carol and Liz asked me to reflect on why I support the Children's Society with all my heart. Well, the answer is very simple. I wanted to help children have what I value most, and that is love, family, and friendship. Family is what the Children's Society brings to thousands of children through adoption. They help build forever families. I am grateful to the Wyoming Children's Society for helping me create my family. I am privileged to be here today, surrounded by so many friends and family members. Today, I want to thank all the people who supported my love for the Wyoming Children's Society. First, my husband, Brian. My husband has no shame. He will ask anyone for money and for donations for the Children's Society. He is always... He is always thinking of ways he can give, especially to the Children's Society. Funds from his MMA fight in 2014 even went to the Children's Society. And recently, he just auctioned off Garth Brooks tickets for $1,000 that went to the Children's Society. Brian is a giving man who puts others first, and Wyoming Children's Society is on the top of that list. I want to thank my boys, Brock and Dane, for always being willing to put themselves out there to support adoption and for being loving big brothers. I want to thank my sweet Ia, who has the kindest soul and loving heart. After Ia, I thought I was done having kids. Ia's grace and sweet demeanor opened my eyes to the possibility of adopting again. 3.5 years ago, we adopted little Brant, and now we are a family of 6, and I can't imagine it any other way. Of course, I need to thank my sweet little Brant, who brings so much joy into our lives. His big smile brightens every day, and he is always making us laugh, which is kind of hard to do in a house with 3 teenagers. I want to thank my sweet parents, my brother Zach, and my Aunt Renee for being such a wonderful family while I was growing up and today. I especially want to thank my mom, who was the one who made the 50 giving trees in 2015. These trees raised over $90,000. I want to thank my family and my friends who always say yes when I ask them to sponsor or to donate a silent auction item. Your support means the world to me. I want to thank Carol and Christy and the staff at the Wyoming Children's Society who work so hard day and night and holidays to help children and women build families. It is really an honor to serve on a board for an organization that employs such hard-working and dedicated people. Thank you to each member of the board of directors who are all dedicated to the Wyoming Children's Society's mission. I have formed many wonderful relationships, and I am very appreciative for that. Finally, I want to thank all of the many people who have shared their stories of adoption with me, brave birth mothers, adoptees, and adoptive parents. You inspire me and have helped to shape my own family. We all have reasons for supporting this amazing organization. My sweet daughter, Ia, would like to say a few words about why it's important to give to the Wyoming Children's Society.
Why I think you should give to the Wyoming Children's Society. Kids like me get adopted into a forever home. When you get adopted, sometimes you get to travel to cool places. Children like me get to experience a loving mom, dad, brothers, and sisters. When you get adopted, sometimes you get to do cool sports like dance. Kids like me get to experience a good education in school. Kids that have a cleft palate get to have it fully fixed, not halfway done. Kids that get adopted can experience good relationships with other people. I love having the opportunity to meet new people. I wouldn't be the person I am today without being adopted. When you are adopted, you are opened up to a brand new world of people who love you.
Thank you guys so much.
Okay, a few minutes to transition, and it's time for some very special fundraising events. Don't do that. That was perfectly straight-faced.
I can be ornery.
Do you want the mic down? Okay, those of you who have been to this event before know Steve Price, who volunteers his time each year to be here with us. Thank you, Steve. I just looked down in the audience and gave him a signal to come on up, and he said, "No, I'm not coming up," and I had a moment. So thank you, Steve, for kidding. Okay, those who have been to this event before, and Sarah just mentioned, may have noted that there are no giving trees on the tables this year. This year instead, we will be raising our paddles in person, and by paddle, I mean your bid number. And virtually, you can also participate in this on your computer, your tablet, or your phone. We will give you very specific directions on what the paddle raise event looks like. You heard Sarah's story. You heard a little about mine. You know others, and you are a part of this community, and now we need your help. So, in this paddle raise, there are 7 levels of donations ranging from $5,000 to $50. We ask each and every one of you to consider committing to one of the levels of donations that Steve and I will call out. Steve will walk us through what this event looks like, and then I will announce the different levels of sponsorship as we go. So, Steve.
Well, thank you, Jillian. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed an honor to be here this evening. Did my sound go down? Can everyone hear me? There we go. There we go. There we go. Again, thank you, everyone. And as Jillian had mentioned, on this paddle auction, and I know a lot of you are very familiar with it, but Jillian's she's gonna call out an amount, and if you feel like you would give that amount, we would ask that you hold your number up and hold it up until I announce it, and then you can put it